Welcome, fellow seekers of challenge and triumph, to the SufferSooner podcast. Join us on a journey where ordinary souls embark on extraordinary endeavors. From the relentless grind of gravel to the punishing gauntlet that is triathlon, we've tasted our fair share of suffering. So fellow endurance warriors, let's lace up our shoes, strap on our goggles, and dive headfirst into the challenge, knowing that with every step, stroke, and pedal forward, we grow stronger together. All right, guys, welcome to episode number 46, the holiday edition, the Christmas edition. So, so it's gonna, when this comes out, it'll be Christmas time. So.
Yeah, it'll be under a week to go, just 4 or 5 days to go till Christmas.
So I figured we'd have an episode of where you as a gravel cyclist or triathlete can drop subtle hints to your friends and family on stuff that you may need.
If anybody's looking for any last minute gift ideas.
Yeah, exactly. Because I know we're hard to shop for. I know my wife says it's particularly hard to shop for me. Just because I'm very particular in the equipment that I use. And it's just basically what I've told her in the past is just go down there, look through one of my bags and buy the exact same thing that's in the bag or the kit that I have or the jersey that I have. If you see me using it and it's hanging up, if you buy me another one of those, I'll be super happy.
Right.
You buy me a tube of chamois butter.
Good.
Golden. Top 10 Christmas gift ever. So, like that kind of stuff. You don't have to buy a new bike frame for me. I'm good. It'd be nice. You could. Not that, there's hints for that, but it's just kind of knowing to drop these hints to your loved ones before they go shopping,
So I don't know how your house does it, Travis. So our kids are a little older. I mean, I know yours are too, but they're really hard to buy for now. And so in our family, what we do is we got the family, text string going. And a few weeks back, my wife's like, all right, what does everybody want for Christmas? And then you just start getting links, Amazon links and all the store links, like just links to things that they want. And we're just like, all right, how easy is this? Like,
right.
You just go through, click, buy, whatever. And it's like, no, I don't have to put any thought into it. So of course, what do? I send my stuff back. I sent them the link to the Wahoo treadmill. I just thought, hey, you guys, I mean, if you guys want to chip in, I'll
go into it. Yeah.
I mean, it's only like $1,000 a kid now. So,
you guys can come up with that. Come on.
I mean, how many years did I spend all this money on them? It's time for it to kind of come back.
Little paid dividends. Yeah.
But, I don't expect I'm getting a Wahoo kicker run.
You can put it on there, but I don't think it's coming. Santa's going to say no to you.
Right. So, but yeah, it's like, I think that's exactly like the worst thing is when somebody thinks they're getting you like that gift that you've always wanted. And then it's like a off brand.
Yeah. I bought you these really cool goggles and you're like, oh God, no, those leaked on me the very first time I ever used them.
Right.
And then you're like, oh,
yeah. And then it's like, you just got to act surprised and happy. And then you're like, this is really awkward. This isn't.
Yeah. And then of course, if it's a close relative or loved one, they're like, oh, you've been using those goggles I got you. And you're like, oh, dude, love them so much. Can't you should send me a picture with them on. You're like, oh, are you kidding me? I already gifted them, re-gifted them.
You know what? There was a guy at the pool. He didn't have his goggles, and he ran off with them. I don't know.
Yeah, he freaking took them. Jerk.
It's the holiday season. I thought it'd be nice, and he ran off with them. But thank you. No, really, I don't need a replacement pair. I already picked some up. It's good. Thank you, though.
Yeah. So that's my thing. It's just, if people are going to shop for you and they want to get you something that your equipment or whatever, definitely just let them know that the brands or the types that you like or prefer.
If it says SRAM
because
on it, that's good.
Yeah. Right. For any of us, for sure. If it says SRAM, anything. But yeah, I'm very particular in a few things. Run kit, running shoes, goggles. There's only a few goggles that I actually like. So like that kind of stuff. Now, like if you get like anti-chafe cream or something like that, whatever, I don't really care, or,
Yeah.
Deodorants. I don't, if you're saying I smell bad, I don't know. Like,
So one year I got my wife. Look, I thought I was being a good husband, right? I got her some like a nice basket of like bath soaps and that sort of thing. And then it also happened to be the year she wanted this stuff, right? But then like she also like there was a certain kind of pillow that she wanted. So I got her this nice pillow, and then there was something else and I forget what it was, but like it's one of those like when she opened it up, it didn't come across the way it was intended. She's like, "Oh, so you got me soap and a pillow, so I stink and I gotta sleep more because I'm apparently not a very nice person and you think I need sleep." Yeah. So
yeah.
yeah, but guys are like that. Like you can get us like a box of deodorant and like some razor blades and we're good.
Oh, I get the boys the same thing every year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Underwear and socks. That's what they
It's
get
a
from me.
staple. It's a
Yeah.
staple.
It's just like,
Yeah.
cause
Yeah.
I
When do you
don't
not
know.
need that stuff?
Yeah. I'm like, I need that stuff all the time. Like,
Right?
just, yeah. And my daughter's done really well. She's bought me, she found out the socks that I like, the Swiftwick.
Oh yeah.
And so she bought me a pair for Christmas last year, and then she bought me a pair for my birthday. And I'm like, these are the best gifts ever.
We don't get any
Like,
sponsorships, but I'd take a sponsorship from Swiftwick. If they
oh
just
yeah.
mailed me like a pair of socks like every couple of weeks, I'd be happy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love those socks. Yeah.
I love those socks. So,
So
and then another good idea that we had before the podcast is just, if you're listening to, you could be dropping hints about races that you want to do.
that's right.
If you're lucky enough to do, gravel and stuff like that, and that's, the race entries are pretty inexpensive.
Mhm.
Now running's kind of getting expensive, and triathlon is super expensive. So depending on how much your friends and family and significant others love you, they could surprise you with a race entry to a race. Just make sure that you express what 70.3 that you want to go to. So
My luck, they'd be like,
they don't sign you up for one that's like the week after
no,
Unbound or something.
My luck, they'd be like, "Oh, we bought you this race entry. We thought you'd really like it. Yeah, we're gonna. Well, I mean, sorry, it's Ironman Texas, and it's in April, and you haven't been training for it.
Yeah,
But
it's
here
in
you go.
like 2 months. You'll be okay.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank
So-
you. So kind of you. Thank you.
That's so great. Yeah, that would be a little bit rude. But yeah, like, definitely like some race entries and stuff. Definitely share that kind of stuff with your
we were talking about this. So
family.
how come and this is something we should ask. We got a few race directors on here. We got to ask them like, hey, why don't you guys put like I know gift cards are probably a pain to administer, but like there's got to be a way you could, especially this time of year, there's a lot of races that the registration's already opened up for. So put a gift idea out there, like, Eric,
Gift
you
to
got
registration.
open range. Like that would be a great gift for somebody to give them an entry to open range. Like, we got to talk to these guys about that. They're missing on a huge opportunity.
Yeah, it might just be the platform that doesn't allow it,
Yeah, there's always a way, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's there's always a way to separate people from their money, for sure.
Yes, yes. Some companies have been very good at doing that with me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
SRAM, especially.
Allele. Yeah.
Allele. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think race entries are a given, and actually, my wife's done this for when she didn't know what to get me. She would just get me like a gift card to the local bike shop, which is always a good idea.
Yep.
But like if you like, hey, I want to get you a race entry, but I don't know how to do all that stuff, then put a nice note in a card or something. Like that's perfect. So
Yep.
even if you can't actually go register, somebody that you want to gift it to, just put a note in there and then ask them how you doing, Venmo them or whatever. But that's a really thoughtful thing for somebody. And if you're curious, most race entries are anywhere from, $60-$70. And, I had the half marathon I just signed up for, it was like $140. So it's getting a little pricey for some of those, but yeah, I mean, you could even just say, hey, I want to contribute to a race entry. And most athletes are going to appreciate that a heck of a lot more than, like, the 9-speed chain that you bought on discount and you don't realize they ride a 12-speed.
Yep.
So.
Yep. The other thing that this kind of goes back to the other thing, like I've had some family members kind of, buy me kit that's, not the usual kit that I wear. And they were just like, oh, I found this on a good deal. And it's like,
or like the Facebook ads you get all the time, where like these these kits. Like, what was the one we saw? It was the Wonder Bread kit from oh shoot, Will Ferrell movie.
Oh yeah, from Talladega Nights.
Talladega Nights, yeah.
Yeah.
And Wonder Bread kit, I'm like, I'm sure that would be really cool to have, but like I can't imagine. It's probably not very comfortable, right?
Yeah. So
steam like in the wrong places. Yeah.
Kits like that, like especially when you're talking about something like as personal as like your chamois and your bibs and stuff. Yeah. I would really hesitate from anybody buying me that.
Right.
I would say the best thing you could do is if you're gonna want to do that, just be like, hey, what bibs do you use and would like, and then that's like, basically you're just letting the cat out of the bag. You're not going to be able to surprise them with a new set of bibs unless you're really good and you go down and look at their kits and then buy the exact same ones.
So my wife one year did buy a custom oil kit. It was one of the VC ones that they had. And I didn't even know she was getting it. I just happened to like, hey, that would be kind of neat. And she took a guess on the sizing. And I'm like, how did you know? Like even the size charts, like sometimes the size charts are a little wonky and you can't always trust them. And, for me, I wear a different size bib than I do the jersey. So, but she nailed it. And I was like, wow, that's freaking awesome. So,
yeah.
But you're right. Like a lot of those kits, I mean, especially if you're buying like a tri kit that, like, yeah, and they're not all made the same. Let's just put it that way. So.
Exactly. Yeah. Just make sure that that you're expressing exactly which manufacturer you want, because otherwise the Amazon or Walmart special tri kit
or it's the gift that keeps on giving in the form of raw shaving every day of the year. It might start to make you question if it's intentional. Like maybe they're trying to get me to stop doing all this training.
Yeah, maybe there's is
there a message?
Maybe they're trying to drop a hint and
feel like
get me to stop this. Yeah. You're saying you want me around more? That's crazy.
It's kind of strange.
So yeah, definitely like, and then if they use running shoes, I know there's some people that like use a size bigger running shoe than their normal shoe. So just be aware, like, if you're asking for new running shoes, that you're putting the size on there. So
you just reminded me, I actually asked for running shoes for the half marathon. Yeah. Oh, and I did. I put the sizing on there because I wear a half size up from my typical shoes. And actually I found that even just wearing like my old running shoes, just wearing those as normal shoes, they're so comfortable because they are half size up. There's so much room in them.
Yep.
But yeah, you gotta make sure you express sizes in there and give a couple of different models and all that good stuff. I actually said I specifically said which Hokas I wanted, and I'm like, and please don't get me the black shoes. Like nothing wrong with black shoes, but like if I'm given the choice, because I think you run a pair of black shoes, which you got.
Yeah, well, that's the only ones they had.
Like the race that we're doing is in Arizona, and it's a little cool that morning. It gets kind of warm, and those freaking shoes get hot, man.
Yeah. So in the summertime, the black shoes definitely just get hot.
Yeah. So, but anyway, like those are all great ideas. So I mean, don't just go like get a pair of Nike Airs thinking that's their running shoe, though. Not a good idea. So
yeah, definitely just be a little bit more mindful that, like, to ask when you ask for something, and it, and people, like, again, family just goes like, oh, I don't know what to get you because you do triathlon and all this stuff. Like, I don't know what to get you. I'm like, hell, you could get me a box of gels and I'd be super pumped. Like that.
Some of it I don't think people realize like how much that stuff costs.
Yeah.
A box of Morton gels is, $40 to $45 depending on where you get them. And sometimes you get them a little cheaper than that. Yep. What was it the one year we did? We had a team Christmas party and we like a bunch of, remember we did the saran wrap ball? And they were like like how many gels were in that thing. Like
Oh,
everybody
yeah, it was
wants
like-
the gels. Like get the
Yeah, it was
freaking
like
gels.
there was like 12 gels in there, and then they put some scratchers in there, and we're like,
Yeah.
yeah, you can have. I'll trade you
have
the
the
scratcher.
scratcher.
I know. I know. I'll use the gel, the
That's
scratcher.
right.
I won't. I'm not going to
Worthless.
cash this in.
Yeah.
So like, it just kind of that kind of stuff. It's just, I just know from, speaking with my family and stuff like that, they just don't understand what to get us, to get me or whatever. And most of the time I'm pretty like, just don't worry about getting me anything really. I'm usually pretty good on stuff, but like, if you're one of those people that like, oh, I have to get somebody something, then, you can't go wrong with nutrition. You just go, hey, what's your favorite flavor?
Right.
And they'll be like, oh, and they'll be like, what's your most favorite flavor?
Yeah.
And, for me, it's that mountain berry hammer gel. It's the most disgusting thing I've ever had in my mouth.
Sorry. I'm starting to doubt my gift for you this year.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
It's like, oh, no wonder it was on sale. I'm the one giving it the bad reviews every single time I see it.
Every time Travis gives me a gift, it's mountain berry gels. It's like
from Hammer. Yeah.
There was a time where I swear that was the only thing for on-course nutrition in the area, like just the local races. Like, because I know Hammer sends out those sponsor packs, or they, directors buy them or whatever. And I swear every single race had the mountain berry gel, and you're just like, oh, can I just have vomit instead? Because this is horrible.
I'll choke it down. Like if I need to, I'll eat it. But man, given the choice, I will send that into the recycling bin. It was the worst.
Why did Travis just throw all those gels into the forest? Well, it was mountain berry.
It's mountain berries returning them to their home.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I'm sure there's somebody out there going, that's my favorite one, man. Come on.
Yeah. If it's your favorite, it's your favorite. I get it. There's some people that love that love it. That's great. More power to you. It's just, I can't, out of all the things of nutrition.
What is it? Is it the Cliff Box? Is it that you said like you don't really do because they like, I don't know, do they swell up your mouth or something?
There's something in them that I react to. I don't know if it's like the gelatin or some ingredient, but man, it makes it I have some kind of allergic reaction. I just start like kind of like really salivating, and then my nose starts running. So that's just this mucus induced nastiness that comes out of me. It's just it's disgusting to see, but I mean, other than that, it's just gross to look at. But like as far as performance wise, I don't know, it doesn't have an effect. But it's not something pretty that I would like to like my race pictures to be, of just this frothing mucusy ginger going down the road, the Cliff block in his mouth.
Man, you're really selling these things. I'm sure there's people lining up to buy them now.
I do like them though. I mean, Cliff blocks are great because I mean they're just about the right size. You can pop like 2 of them in your mouth, put them in your cheek, and like chew on them as you need to. Whereas like you use like a Cliff bar or something like that, you got to be strategic about where you're eating it because it's a little dry. You're going to have to get some water afterwards. And then, so you can't just like eat it on the fly, where the Cliff blocks, you can just shove 2 in your mouth. And then if it's, not a critical point, you can chew them up. And then if you need to, just store them for later. So.
So I think, I mean, the takeaway on that though, is like, if you're not sure what kind of gear, what kind of nutrition, just go through their bag. I mean, I can promise you. Well, you might be a little dangerous going through the bag. It might smell, but I mean, otherwise, like just try to find the nutrition pocket as fast as you can. You're going to find something in there. So it's not the time to try anything new. I mean, it really isn't. Like kind of like race day. Like don't try anything new here.
Yeah. You don't need to be like, hey, I found these cool new, bicarbonate gels, In
the spirit of last week, I found this new protein powder. It says it guaranteed to get results.
Yeah, guaranteed.
Start
it's brand new. It's everybody's raging about it on the
found this cream that works, and and all of a sudden like muscle just starts piling on.
Yeah. So yeah,
Hey, Travis,
definitely.
I just a total tangent on that note. I heard we lost a subscriber last week.
We did. It was the
Yeah.
first time I
First,
saw a negative. We lost a subscriber last week.
we lost a subscriber over the
So
doping.
I guess my mom is no longer a fan.
But like you said,
I'll have to talk to her later today and find out.
of all the things we've talked about, the doping.
That's the line right
that's
there.
the line that
you don't insinuate that there's doping in our sport. Damn it.
Okay. All right.
I'm like, all right. Okay.
So that's probably not gear I would buy though. I would not buy like a doping subscription or anything like that.
No, some kind of, testosterone, anabolic steroids, probably not is what you don't want to get your athlete.
No, but
you don't want to send that kind of message.
No. You clearly there's no hope for your training, so we're just gonna get you this instead.
Just get you the missing piece.
This is the thing. You got to think about the message that your gift sends to somebody. Like that's like, what do you like? Like I said, I learned my lesson when I bought soap and pillows. It's like it's like don't buy a vacuum cleaner and an iron for Christmas. I know somebody that did that, by the way. That did not end well. But yeah, it's just it's like don't have to be a hero here. Just go with the staples. It's not hard to find.
Just go with the staples.
Yeah,
just put that out there. Like here's the stock brands I use. Here's my favorite goo in the whole wide world, right. Or here's my favorite nutrition product right here. Yeah. It's like, so that always works. Let's see here. And then for your other, if you have triathlete or gravel friends, always getting like, stocking stuffers, like they're always going to need chamois cream. They're always going to need a couple goos or whatever. You can even give them your favorite ones and, tell them, unless it's Mountain Berry, don't be trying to pass that off as your favorite. Cause I know you're lying. So, but you could be like, oh, here's, I had a couple lemons, I'll, add that and give those to some people. And, it's like I get like, I'm say it's kind of hard to shop for, triathletes for sure. Definitely like, because, like we're kind of solitary and people don't understand what we do all the time. And they don't understand that like a 7-hour ride is kind of like the best thing on earth for us to do. So they just, just kind of like don't get that. So you gotta kind of make your voice heard of, what you want for Christmas, especially if there's people willing to, be nice and try to, and thoughtful and get you a Christmas gift. Otherwise you're getting, underwear and socks. Like
I know.
Or the favorite thing that my kids get me, it's called, they call it love and respect.
Oh,
that's their gift to me. Is they are like, we're giving you love and respect, Dad.
It's it's the easiest gift to find, and
yep,
it's the gift that keeps on giving. So
yep, yeah. So
how long did you guys think about that gift? I'm just curious. It's a thought.
Yeah, that's all they say is like, oh, we're just giving you love and respect, Dad. That's your gift this year. I'm like, all right, yeah. Guess who's helping me work on the truck later?
Gift back to you.
Yep.
Hard manual labor.
Yep. But yeah, just think of like little stocking stuffers for your triathlete friends and all that kind of stuff. Just, I mean, if you look on any website, they're going to have all these gift ideas for your triathlete in your life and all this stuff. And it's like, buy him a new helmet. It's like, are you kidding me? Do you even know your head size? Like, I don't even know my head size. So it's like, you're like, it's going to be weird. You're like taping up your head and going like, oh yeah.
Or they get you the bike helmet with like the, like a unicorn helmet or something like that. You're like, well,
or the spikes on the top. They're like, we saw this. It's going to be so cool. Like, I'm not 12, but it is still pretty cool.
Or it could be like my family, and it's like every time we go somewhere and there's like a picture or like a painting or something like at the store of like a bicycle, and they're like, oh, do you want that? And I'm like, no, I think I'm good. Or like they see like the little little trinket that's a bike or, somebody running or something. No, I don't know. I don't need that. Like, it's just junk. Like, sorry, it's just junk. I don't need that.
Yeah. We spend enough
Although,
on the sport that we don't need like little trinkets that say
although,
like,
yeah,
runner, world's best
world's
runner,
best.
coffee
Yeah,
mug
yeah.
or whatever.
Right, right. Although there was one thing I did tell my wife. We were at the bike shop the other day, and they had one of the Park Tool pizza cutters. I was like,
Oh yeah.
I want one of those. Like, so now that would be a good gift to have. Now, would I ever use it? I don't know, but that'd be pretty freaking awesome, though.
Yeah. That'd be pretty sweet.
Especially because we make the homemade pizzas, with the uni pizza oven
Yeah.
thing. You're like, hey, who wants to ride the bike across the pizza? Well,
Right.
yeah, yeah. So I don't know. If it's
They'd be like, it's always just you, Dad.
That's right.
Yeah, I find like gifts like that, I get the most enjoyment out of them, and
Yeah,
then
exactly.
they just don't understand. So,
Yeah. Oh well. So
oh well.
let's see.
Oh, all right. When in doubt, gifts.
Mm.
You know,
The
what do you say when you're like, hey, when somebody's like, oh, I want to get you something, I would say definitely like a gift card to a bike shop.
Yeah.
Is when in doubt. Definitely,
Yeah.
just if you do that, that works because I'm
Yeah.
going there anyways.
Yeah, I think a lot of it's obviously, money side of it. Like when I first started getting into this stuff, and my wife's like, "Oh, what do you want for Christmas?" Because before I was like, "Well, I don't really, tools and stuff for the shop and all that kind of stuff." But now it's like, when I first started getting into this, it was like, "Well, what do you want?" I was like, at that time, it was like, "Well, I don't know, like that kicker headwind is pretty cool." Like I would never just go out and buy that myself. Like, but if you want to get me a gift and it looks like it'd be pretty neat. So she did. She bought it for it. Now that was
Yeah.
fairly expensive. I would not expect something like that every year, but it was just one of those things where like it worked out. So like I was like, oh, and it's been an awesome fan. I love that thing. Now again, I wouldn't go out and just buy it myself because it's fairly pricey. But yeah, I think the when in doubt stuff, like I always go back to like you said, the gift cards. It's there's whether it's your local bike shop, that's your almost every local bike shop has gift cards. Excuse me, I'm fighting the same cold you had, Travis, so thanks a lot for that.
I
But
hope not. I think
no,
that's a month of just pure
yeah,
torture.
just a little cough right now. But yeah, the gift cards to the local bike shop are easy. They support the local shop, so that's always a good thing.
Yeah, and another thing is if you ever have a question, you can always ask your local bike shop. Like if
Oh, for sure.
and just be like, hey, what is so and so been buying here? I've done that before. Just look, and they can look up customers and just be like,
Yeah.
and then you can be like, oh, they like this. I'll use gels, but oh, they like this type of sock. Like sock height is a thing with cyclists. So if you end up getting me no-show socks, prepare to never see them on my bike.
Yeah.
They're my running socks now. But if you get me, mid-calf length socks, yeah, you'll see those.
Yeah.
You'll see those out there
Yeah.
on the road. But yeah, like if you your person you're shopping for is a little particular, you can at least have the help of the local bike shop if they go there and just kind of do a little bit of history on what they've bought.
Yeah.
Yeah, not boughten. Yeah, that's not a good thing. But
English is a second language, folks.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, they can look that kind of stuff up and and give you a hand there. So
well, and I think that's a good idea. And if you really are like just at a total loss, I think that's another good suggestion. Is like I would trust the person at the local shop. Like, hey, what are some people coming in buying a lot of like that's like the new thing, right? And like that would be an opportunity to try something. I know I said don't try anything new, but like that might be the opportunity to try something new. Like, what's the new thing that people are trying out? Whether it's a piece of gear, maybe it's a different type of nutrition, or it's a piece of equipment or whatever. But I think that's always a good idea. And I trust the advice of local folks a lot more than some of the big paid advertisements that you get on
Yeah, the
web pages
online
and
stuff.
blogs.
Yeah,
I
they're
mean, so much
I
better.
was just looking through Runner's World, and they had the 16 best things for triathletes, and they got like buy them a new wetsuit. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, nobody's gonna buy me a $700 wetsuit, brand new, let alone
Yeah.
know me enough to know my size to go and buy it. It's like, who are you buying
Yeah.
that for? Like, come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
So
Put that right next to the new car you're buying your wife too for Christmas,
yeah,
right? Like, come on.
exactly.
Like, I mean, yeah, I guess, but that's not really practical.
And then and then on the I looked on the competitive cyclists website, and they have a lot of like, bibs and shirts and gloves and shoes and helmets. And then they got, you should buy your spouse #1 Cervelo Aspero 5 frame set. Just go ahead and buy that for him.
It was only 5K, right? So
Yeah.
I mean,
We'll
4K,
see.
5K, something like that.
Let me see how
3,500. I
much
don't
it
remember.
is.
Yeah. I mean, they're
Yeah,
nice.
it's not 35. It's it's 3,250 now. So it's come
Probably
down.
come down a little bit.
Yeah. So,
The-
but they only have limited sizes. So
well, that's why they're trying to get rid
yeah.
of the size run they had to buy. So yeah, that's okay though. I mean, and that's a good side. I like that side too. But yeah, I think I would I like to have a new, Cervelo frame set? Sure. Yeah, that'd be great. Doesn't seem practical.
Yeah.
Right up there with the Wahoo kicker run. Like,
Right. It's something I would like, but I can live my life without it for sure.
right. So
Another good in doubt, like if you're just wanting to, get your friends or spouse or loved ones that do the sport, or looking to give you something, like books for sure. I love getting books like on, there's like Katie Ledecky's swim book.
yeah.
There's the endurance diet book. Another good one is, especially if they're talking about doing their own type of food or cooking for their rides or training. Feed Zone Portable is a very great book. I know I've lent it out a bunch of times, and I've used a lot of the recipes in there. Is just, if you don't want to spend money on goos and gels and all that stuff, you can use the recipes in this book, and for pennies on the dollar, you're making really nutritious workout food that you can eat while you're riding your bike in the trainer, or you're going on a long run or something like that. You don't have to buy the high performance energy gels. You can actually use this kind of stuff to supplement your cost of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, especially for training days. I mean, probably one of the best things I learned, kind of being in this stuff for a few years, was the home brew nutrition. We always joke about the sugar water and all that kind of stuff, but like, I mean, you look at the ingredients on a lot of these bars and gels and everything, and that's all it is. It's maltodextrin, it's fructose, with some flavorings and that sort of thing. And there's just so many ways to make it cheaper. And I'm not saying you don't want to go out and buy like the good gels for race day, but you don't have to go buy them for every training day too.
Yeah. You don't have to train in the middle of February with, $50 worth of Martin gels and, and, $40 worth of, tailwind on your person. You can go with, some water and some, maybe you do an electrolyte, and then you have, couple rice cakes, and that's plenty of carbs, sugar, and digestible carbs and fat, and what you need to get yourself through the workout. You don't need the high performance stuff, because you're not racing, you're just training. Your training looks different, especially in these winter months, or in the springtime, than it does when you're full on race season.
Right. And even if you're doing an intense workout, I mean, most of the time in the winter season, it's, you're doing an hour to an hour and a half hard workout. You're not doing 2, 3, 4 hours of, I mean, you might do an endurance ride, but you're not you're not going to be out, to your point, not going to be racing for 3 or 4 or 5 hours. If you're doing an hour and a half, even if it has like VO2 max intervals or anything like that, like just you don't need that many carbs to get through that. Probably 100 carbs is really all you need to supplement for an hour and a half, and hell, just have a banana, and if you don't like bananas, then, have a
dates. I like
dates,
the coconut roll dates are really good.
What I found was pretty useful. Things like the because they're just quick and easy, and maybe not the healthiest option, but like those Quiv Z bars, like for the kids.
Yep.
They got, because they're basically oatmeal based, and they're pretty easily digestible, and they have multiple flavors, and they got maybe 100 calories and 120 calories for a bar, and and so yeah, I just think there's so many other options. Is it because you're in a controlled environment, you're inside, unless you're on rollers doing your 2-hour ride, you can probably go hands free,
Yep.
So yeah, it's just a lot more flexible. Or like you said, that a lot of the recipes in that book that you talked about are perfect. Like, it's a great time to try some of that stuff.
Yep.
You might find,
and then make sure that's something that you can do. Cause I just, in the springtime, when we start amping up the volume and stuff, I'd take the kind of stuff, outside, because I don't need, we're just going for long, slow, rides of low intensity. So I can eat, half a burrito or, like whatever, type of thing I can make and put in my pocket. I don't have to have the high energy gels. So, So, all right, Danny, what do you got?
Well, so I decided to throw another random topic in here. It's like because we're not going to have really a rapid response. There aren't really any a lot of questions associated with this. So I thought, like, hey, if somebody was giving you a gift, would you rather open present A or present B up?
Oh, okay. So
a couple of like mildly odd or offensive gifts in here that, you got to make a choice. Like, so like, for example, would you rather have like, a cheap multi-tool or a, world's best cycling coffee mug?
I'd probably have the coffee mug because I have like 4 different
multi-tools. All I can think about is when we were doing that Humphreys race a couple of years ago, and you got in like the first 10 miles of the race, and your multi-tool explodes all over.
It just explodes. Oh my gosh!
It looked like I just happened to be coming through as you're like piecing together your multi-tool, and I'm just like, oh, that don't look good at all. That was horrible.
That was the worst.
Yeah. So yeah, there's no room out there for a cheap multi-tool. So
nope. It's got to be a good one. Yeah. So.
Yeah. So would you rather have cotton t-shirts for training or wall decals that say swim, bike, run?
Oh man, that's a tough one. Do I have to wear the cotton t-shirts training?
Yes.
Okay. Because do they have pockets, or do they have anything cool on them?
Yeah, they're not. They could be pocket tees. We'll go pocket tee. Yeah, you can carry.
They got one pocket in them.
Yeah. I got a pocket tee right here on the crest.
I'll take the pocket tees.
All right.
Yeah. I'm not putting the swim, bike, run decal on the back of the pain cave. Yeah, like you walk into the kitchen, it says "Live Life Love," and then you walk into the basement, and it says "Swim, Bike, Run."
That's exactly what I was thinking of. I'm like, oh my god! Come on, get out of here.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I'm sorry if you're into that and that's your decor. I don't mean to offend you, but it's like, it's just not me, No.
And my wife is a huge she's got that kind of stuff. It's like we have little Christmas decals of saying of like the Grinch and stuff, and that's fine. But I'm not carrying that down to the basement, like where the pain cave is, where it's like, oh, guess what? I'm a triathlete, swim, bike, run. No, thank you.
All right. Better gag gift. You ready? Better gag gift. A kickstand or cycling socks that say triathletes can't bike.
Oh, dude, that if they make socks like that, I would wear those for
That'd be
sure.
awesome. Yeah. Yeah. Especially where we ride, because there's so many people that ride TT bikes on that stretch of road.
Yep.
And like,
Yep.
you
Yep.
just imagine, like, I would slow down and like make sure they could see and read the socks
Yeah.
in their arrow position.
Yeah. They just see it.
They have
Yeah.
to see them.
All right. Just to poke a little fun, you know?
Oh my gosh, it is too good. And then how about this? Would you rather have a a finisher medal display rack? Okay. So you can display all of your finisher medals,
Okay.
or um, a book on how to get started in triathlon.
I like the display rack. I already have one of those.
Yeah. I just thought the display rack was pretty funny because, we're all in this for the medals. So
I have it so it's just there. And then it has my bib numbers on there too. And then on the back of my bibs it has my finishing time, my place, and all that stuff. So it's kind of like, I don't know, like a homage to the thing. But yeah, that's like the only thing I have of. But that's like for us, it's on the way down to the basement.
Yeah.
But it's not like it's not the centerpiece. Like maybe if I won like, some kind of chalice from Unbound or something like that, I might have to make space on the mantle for it. I don't know. I'd have to ask Serena. She's got like the most.
I know.
Like she's got all the the podium finishes stuff. So we'd have to ask her how everything is. But I think she's the same way. I think she just kind of squirrels that kind of all that stuff away in the pain cave. And
I hate it when somebody like Serena runs out of space in their trophy room, so it has to spill out into the living room to show off all the accolades. Like, yeah, thanks for showing off. So
no, hey, she's just good. You can only race who shows up, Danny. You can only race who shows up.
I know. That's why I'm just like, I need people to quit showing up to these things so I have a chance.
Yeah. Hey everybody, don't show up to any of these races, please. So me and Danny have a chance.
All right, that's right. Last one here. So worst gift to get. Ready? Worst gift.
Yeah.
Which one's worse? A Peloton badge for your bike.
Okay.
Or a triathlon training plan from Pinterest. How many people like put into Google like how to train for a triathlon and it shows up some Pinterest board and you're like, oh, there's the plan. That's the one right there.
I'd probably say the Pinterest plan was probably wouldn't be that. Yeah, it's probably. I mean, like I say, like my feeling on training plans. They're
the one that works for you is the best one to get, right?
Yeah, exactly. If you're all in on a training plan, that's the best plan for you for sure. Yeah. So like if you see one on Pinterest and you're like, yeah, I like the way this is heading, it's probably the best one for you.
Yeah. So just a little bit of fun there because ChatGPT never lets us down. So
no.
But there actually is one thing on here that made me think about this a little bit. It's I think I might get it for you, Travis. It gets you a foam roller that says recovery for amateurs. So
yeah.
You need
if anything, I'm the recovery for I hardly ever foam roll though.
Yeah, I know that's the thing.
Just not a big fan of it.
So I've had that issue in the past with the sore spot deep in the glute area. We talked about that and that spiky ball that so that's a great gift idea. Like if like your cyclist, running, or triathlete friend is like always talking about like muscle pain in their legs, like that spiky ball will like that's a torture device, but it's in a good way.
And I'll go the other route too. Like I haven't had lower back pain like I have had in for as long as I can remember from after seeing Shannon at endurance running KC, like endurance running PT. Sorry.
Yeah.
She showed me some stretches and some ways to relieve that kind of sciatic back pain, and dude, I do that that's what I do in the mornings now is I get up and do all the stuff that she told me to do.
Yeah.
And
Just releases all of it.
it releases all of it. And it is that what I would say is a game changer. So I mean, if you're, if your significant other, or if you want if you want to alleviate pain and stuff, like getting to see a sports PT is probably, I mean, that I wish I got for Christmas.
Yeah.
Like 5 years ago.
No,
like that would have been amazing. Like, I mean, to promote her, I mean, she's a great lady and stuff like that. Like, definitely check her out if you're listening to this in the KC area for sure.
Right.
But yeah, like something like that. Like, I mean, and you've experienced it with me with my lower back and stuff has always given me fits. So
yeah, I can always tell when it's hitting you, especially on the bike. Like you can just see how you just don't sit in the saddle, like you're constantly fidgeting, and then even on the run, like you can just tell in your gait, your cadence, everything. It's just not comfortable at all. Yeah.
So
no, I think it's a great idea. I mean, I mean, recovery is just one of those things it's another one of those sort of personal areas. Everybody's got their own needs, but I think a good appointment with the PT and somebody really knows what they're doing. I mean, they can give you so many insights on things to try out. Like no matter how many stretches you think, I guarantee you go to a PT, you're going to find some other way to contort your body that you never thought of, And I've had a hip pain, not really in the flexor area, but like just right there's a core muscle that's been like nagging, and it's like trying to find all these stretches. Like I'm about a couple of weeks away from probably reaching out to friends, because like I'm like I don't know I know what movement causes the problem, but I can't figure out like is it like a strain? Is it just a stretching thing? Is it a muscle, like is like one muscle tight causing this one to be out of whack? So but yeah, I think there's all sorts of options from a recovery standpoint. Like those are the best gifts, because man, when you hit the right spot and you get that relief, like that is a gift worth its weight in gold. I mean, just awesome.
Yeah. So
good stuff.
I hope everyone enjoyed this little Christmas episode, and you're feel prepared to ask for things from your loved ones, or have them shower you with triathlon specific gifts, gravel specific gifts. But yeah, just hope everybody has a great Christmas, and we'll talk to you next week.
You got it.
All right. Thank you for listening to this episode. Please, if you like what we are doing here, leave a like, rate us, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends. It really helps us grow and finds us more SufferSooner squad mates. And remember, when the finish line feels impossibly far away, we don't give up, we push harder, we dig deeper, and we find solace in the knowledge that our suffering is temporary and our resilience is forever.